The Ashcroft E2 General Industrial Pressure Transducer provides a unique way to adjust offset and span without ever having to open the sealed housing. By using a magnet to operate an internal reed switch, the transducer can be calibrated externally without exposing the electronics to moisture and contaminants. The procedure is simple. The first step is to determine the offset and span values for the transducer you're going to calibrate. We're going to calibrate to a 0 to 60 psi range with a 4 to 20 milliamps output. Our offset value is 0 psi or 4 milliamps, and our span value is 60 psi or 20 milliamps. The accuracy for our E2 is plus or minus 0.25% of span or plus or minus 0.040 milliamps. We are monitoring the output and providing power to the E2G with the Ashcroft ATE2 handheld calibrator and connected to a pressure source. If you don't have a handheld calibrator, you can use a setup similar to this. This setup includes a digital multimeter, a power supply, and a pressure source, such as a volume controller, hand pump, or dead weight tester. We'll start by turning on the handheld calibrator and going through the warm-up sequence. To begin, let's zero out the display and make sure we're viewing the correct measurement. As we are providing power to the transducer from our handheld calibrator, we will now turn on the loop supply voltage function. First, we'll turn the milliamp volt output on so we can see the reading from the transducer. Now, we will activate the loop power feature on the handheld calibrator by pressing Menu, highlighting the loop supply item, and pressing Enter. We now have a reading from the transducer at 0 psi. Note that we are starting at 4.085 milliamps. Now, we will bring up the pressure to 60 psi and note the span value. Next, activate the calibration mode by cycling the power off and on. Then use the magnet to enter into the calibration mode with the 131 second code. Tap the unit for 1 second and release. Tap the unit for 3 seconds, release. And then tap the unit for 1 second and release. Make sure to move the magnet at least 3 inches away from the E2G after tapping the target area. When the calibration mode has been activated, the output signal on the transducer will drive from over range to under range. For example, this unit has a 4 to 20 milliamps output, and the signal will drive from 3 to 22 milliamps. Now we will adjust the span value to 20 milliamps plus the offset value we measured at 0 psi, so the target span value is 20.085 milliamps. To adjust, we will tap the magnet near the specified area on the label. In this case, we were a little high, so I will take it up and loop around. The span will increase from its current value up to plus 5% of span. Once the output has reached the max value, the span will jump to minus 5% and continue to increase towards plus 5%. Holding the magnet in position while adjusting the span will increase the speed at which the span value increases. Once you get close to your desired setting, you should tap the magnet against the unit for finer adjustment. If you scroll past the desired value, repeat until you've reached your span value. We have reached our desired value. Now, adjust the applied pressure to 0 and adjust the output to 4 milliamps. Like the span adjustment, the offset will increase from its current value up to plus 5% of span. Once the offset output has reached the max value, the offset will jump to minus 5% and continue to increase. Once the offset value is set, allow the E2G to time out of calibration mode by waiting 30 seconds. This will be signaled by the output of the transducer, driving to over range, under range, and back to the normally calibrated output. The E2G is now calibrated, and you can repeat the steps shown previously to check the offset and span values. To verify it has been properly calibrated, raise the pressure from 0 to full span. The span is at 20 milliamps. Now lower the pressure to 0 and the offset is 4 milliamps. If you need to make adjustments, re-enter calibration mode and repeat the adjustment steps as shown. In this video, we reviewed the calibration procedures for the Ashcroft E2G General Purpose Pressure Transducer. For more information, check out our website at www.ashcroft.com or give us a call at 203-385-0635.